Hello everybody, I am PopBob0. I am a runner of SWTOR, and I currently only run Trooper. I'm planning on starting routing the other classes very soon. But yeah, since I know Trooper, I figured I'd make a Trooper guide right now. So I got a few pictures, and then we're gonna go into running the route that I've made. So we got these pictures for the different abilities, and I'll explain what each one does and if it's helpful during the run. At level 1, we start with, I think it's called, I don't know the abilities names, but I'll refer to them as 1, 2, and 3 here, and then all the other pictures have names. So number 1 ability is just your basic everyday auto attack. Basically, it's actually not that bad at low levels, so if you don't have enough energy cells, which is your resource, which we can talk about in a bit, it's basically your free attack. 2 is a charge shot. Never use this. It takes like 1.5 seconds to cast and does about the same damage as your 1. Not worth it. 3 replenishes your energy cells, and energy cells will regenerate slower the less you have. The more you have, the faster they'll regenerate, so try not to use them all up. Level 2, we get explosive round. Normally we won't level up until level 3 though, or 4 even sometimes, but at level 2 we get explosive round. This is our main energy cell spender. Basically what it does is it will shoot a little explosive round off to a target, and it will kind of blow up around the target doing AoE damage. It is very helpful for clearing out waves. Mortar Salve at level 3 is a passive ability, so you don't need to worry about it, but it's very good to get since it increases the damage of explosive round by, I think it's 20% if I recall. Plasma Cell is yet another passive. This one is very good. Basically, your hammer shot or whatever it's called, that one ability I was talking about, your basic attack, will now have a chance to put enemies on fire. And all attacks have actually a chance to put enemies on fire if I recall, but that has the highest chance to do it from what I've seen. Sticky Grenade. On weak and normal enemies, it will stun them because they're panicking to get the sticky grenade off. Strong, elite, and champions, however, will not be affected by the CC, but after like 3-5 seconds, it will blow up, doing AoE damage around the target it was put on. This is very good for wave clear, and for the next ability we're going to talk about, which is High Impact Bolt, which basically will attack, it does damage to CC or a target with some sort of debuff. So the Plasma Cell will trigger this, the Sticky Grenade will trigger this, the Explosive Round, actually I forgot to mention, will knock down weak and normal enemies on the primary target. Level 8, so we skip level 7 actually because there's no ability to pick up at level 7. Mortar Volley. This is an okay ability, but I'm not sure if it's worth picking up for the run. Actually, I am not positive yet. If you want to pick it up, feel free to. I'll talk about that when I'm actually running the class. But Mortar Volley is pretty much, you put down AoE on the ground, like say the enemies are here, you gotta target the AoE to them, shoot them, and you gotta stand still for about 3 seconds or so, but it does a lot of damage. It's worth picking up if you have enough spare time in your run. And finally, level 9, since we hit level 10, then nothing really matters after that. And there's no point in picking up level 10. since we've already beat the run. But level 9 Tenacity is a CC breaker. Really not worth it for the run. We will not be picking this up. This is absolutely pointless to pick up. And now on to Vanguard. Vanguard has the hammer shot and energy cell regen ability too, so you don't need to worry about having any differences there. A few of these abilities are the same because they're both troopers, obviously. I should have said that beforehand, but there are a few distinct differences in abilities. There's only like 5 abilities that are the same, so it's worth pointing out both classes' abilities and their strengths and weaknesses. So this level, this second ability, excuse me, ion shooty thingy. See, I'm a professional. Basically, will single target do about the same damage as that explosive shot for the commando, or explosive rounds. So it's good for. First off, Vanguard's more of a single target class. So in the run, I think early on Vanguard is strong, but late game, like near the end of the run, Commando is better, and we spend more time end game because of obviously the levels you need more experience. So personally, I recommend Commando. Vanguard's, you only lose a few seconds for picking Vanguard, honestly, so it's up to your preferences. Vanguard takes a little more skill because of an ability we're going to talk about at level 3, I think it is. But yeah, that's just generic shot that costs energy cells, so it is pretty strong though, especially early game. Level 2, Stock Strike. It's a single target melee range ability where you hit someone in the face with the butt of your gun. Pretty self-explanatory. Does a lot of damage. Ion Wave. This is the ability I was talking about. This, basically, it's a cone. It shoots out a cone, and you gotta be standing at the right area, have everyone lined up the way you want them, and you fire it. It does about the same damage as that ion ability that I was on the 2 slot that I was talking about. So it's a good ability. It's a little more AoE for the class, which is definitely helpful. Level 4, we pick up Plasma Cell as well, which is, I've already explained on the commando end, but it basically burns your enemies on basic attacks or attacks. Level 5, we pick up Flak Shell, which is basically you put it on someone and it will just immediately explode in a small radius around the target. This is good for wave clear, but we don't get to level 5, so it's and it will knock down weak and normal enemies. I should mention that as well. Level 6, we also pick up High Impact Bolt, just like the Commandos. Like I said before, if you didn't watch the Commando part, it basically will hit a debuffed target. And when the debuffed target gets hit, it does a lot of damage. Level 8, we pick up Artillery Blitz. It's basically that Mortar Volley, except for you can move while doing it, so it's a lot better. It doesn't do quite as much damage, though, if I recall. So it's basically an AoE that you target on the ground. And finally, level 9 Tenacity, useless, because all it does is break CC. So that's the Commando and Vanguard abilities. Now, in just a couple minutes, we will switch over to the game. Well, in the video, it will be right now, but in a couple minutes, IRL, we're going to switch over to the game, and I will do a run, slow run, though, of showing off the Commando. because they're basically the same. I just explained the different abilities just now, so I'll be showing off the route and everything. Thank you for watching. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be doing a run of, well, a slow run, so I'm not even going to have the timer on because I know it's going to be slow, of the Commando. I'm basically going to explain what you need to do, what you need to know, and how to do it.
I'm a soldier.
For the Republic.
He looks kind of good as is. So basically, you gotta what I'm showing right now is what you gotta show when you submit a run. Alright, you're gonna want to show character creation. So, what should we name him? Let's name Tutorial Dude. And for some reason that's not taken. Alright. So what we're going to do, quite simply put, is go as fast as we can. We're going to skip this because that's stupid. What you need to know is you're mashing space and the 1 button at the same time. So you're going to want to either use your left hand or move your right hand over to the space bar. I like to move my right hand over because my right hand's faster. But for this, I don't care as much. I'm just going to do my left hand. So we're skipping through all this dialogue. Now, while running here, you're going to want to go to your interface editor and set up your thing, your interface. Now, sprint should already be on passively. So all you need to do then is put fortification on, and normally I will do this after picking up this quest, is put quick travel on my bar. Alright, now we're gonna pick up this quest, and we're off. All we have to do is spam 1 at this point. We're just spamming 1. Literally just spamming 1. And it's good to move around while spamming 1 to get closer to the objective, because we got some pretty good range. We can shoot from pretty far away. However, if you're playing a Vanguard, that ion ability that I was telling you about is a 10-meter range. So you don't have quite as much range, but if you open up with hammer shot, which it is called hammer shot, right? Yeah, I've been calling it the right thing all this time. If you open up with hammer shot and then move in with that, you should be good. Alright, and we're already level 2, which is a little early for us to hit level 2 normally, but it's still good. I don't think I normally hit level 2 this early, in terms of kills and stuff. Somebody died here, that's interesting. He's a pleb. So we're still just spamming 1, as you can see. Now, what I like to do is I just spam right click to try and pick this up, or pick up these different things that we might need right after the fight. Alright, Zerg. We're just gonna run back over here before hitting our holocom button. We're gonna go over by Sergeant Bliles, actually, to do this.
Nice.
And then we're gonna talk to Sergeant Blile. He's glad we made it back in one piece. Accept that. Now, while running, you're gonna go into your inventory, equip those gloves because they're better, and this is where you're gonna move your medkit over to the skill bar. Mainly because if you die, you're kind of bad before then, and you're probably gonna want to reset the run anyway if you die that early. Basically, if you die at all, you kind of want to reset the run for the most part. Now, as always, we're gonna sometimes be, if I say I'm competing with someone for resources, XP, whatever, that basically means there's someone else playing with at the same time, doing the same quests as me. So I don't want to be competing if I can help it. So right now we're actually doing pretty good about not having many people to compete with, it looks like, which is good. And you're gonna want the bonus quest from that place that we were just at done, by the way. I didn't really talk about that well. Bonus quests are almost a must do in this run. You can miss maybe one bonus quest without having to rip the run. If you miss more than that due to competing, you're kind of screwed. Someone gave me all these buffs that normally I wouldn't have, so I'm just going to remove them. I didn't even notice I had them. I personally like to remove the buffs so it looks like I'm not getting outside help, besides obviously my personal buff. And we're level 4 at about the right time, so now we're going to put those on. Were those spare pants? Yeah, they were. Now normally I wouldn't do this till after I picked up this quest. I'm kind of going a little slow, so I don't care as much, but right about here is where I would switch all that stuff up, put on that stim pack, and you should have that done around when you walk over here. Now I like to accept that first, and then we're gonna pick all this stuff up, which I've already talked about what all the abilities do earlier in the video. English is hard. Now we're just gonna walk over here into the command center. I think Private Farn's coming to talk to us, introduce himself. We don't really care, we're just gonna space and one at the same time past him. Thankfully, in the trooper route, there isn't many things that actually will slow you down or you'll do wrong for doing space plus one. I know in a few runs, like the Sith Inquisitor for example, you're gonna have to do space 2 in a couple situations. So keep that in mind. The trooper is fairly easy in that regard. You don't need to know where you need to switch your button. So now we're running over here. We're just gonna go find Bellis, and he's gonna wind up dead. Feels bad, man. But then Jorgen will yell at us, find him dead, and we just need to go talk to Bellis's wife, who is now a widow, and she'll be very sad to hear the news, but we don't care because we're going super fast. Now, keep in mind, if you are free to play, I think your quick travel ability is on a much longer cooldown. So please, you probably don't want to use quick travel throughout the run. I, however, since I'm preferred and or subscribed at different times, will be using quick travel at certain spots. Also, I forgot to mention, not to loot. There's almost no purpose in looting throughout the run. It's either going to be something you can't use as junk, or a companion item, which doesn't matter. So looting isn't worthwhile throughout the run, is what I'm trying to say. Exactly, Lou. No loot. For those of you watching on the YouTubes, I am currently streaming this at twitch.tv/popbob0. So if you like what you're seeing, consider following. And there we hit level 5, which is cool. Your RPG tendencies say otherwise. Now, normally I wouldn't be looking around like this for loot or for the other kills, but obviously I'm doing this a little slow. Normally you just run right in here and you hope that you have the bonus anyway. Now as you can see, I only have 7 out of 10. which is me. I'm not getting quite as much XP. How much XP am I not getting, you might ask? 1,443, which isn't a whole lot, but these guys, normally I would quick travel beforehand, but I wasn't sure if they were henchmen. They are not, so it's not worthwhile coming down here. Now, if you are free to play, I would recommend not quick traveling at this point. There is a better point to quick travel throughout the run that I will point out. If you are preferred or free to play, or subscriber, your quick travel is on a 6-minute cooldown, and it is worth to do it. Now, I personally pick up there. I don't know if that's ideal, because I kind of would like to wait till level 6 when I can also get a high impact bolt. So we're just walking over here. Alright. Now, if you're preferred or subscriber, I don't think free to play gets this, but you get an experience boost. Be sure to put that on right away. That will help your run go a little faster. Now, I'm not sure if free to play get that. I don't think they do. So just keep that in mind. It's good to subscribe for at least 1 month for this run, so that way you can get the sprint buff, which basically, where is it? Movement speed increased by 35% while not in combat. So that's a real good thing. You get that at level 1, and it's definitely worth subscribing for at least 1 month to get that, if you can. So now we're just running over here. There are bombs to defuse. Let's defuse the bombs. Now we can also kill 10 separatists over here for a bonus objective. Since I missed the other objective, it is definitely worthwhile for me to do this. However, actually, you should probably be trying to get all the bonus objectives you can anyway, so this is one that I would recommend doing as well. Gotta love that 5.5 second cast time. As you can see, I'm switching up my abilities a bit now that I have explosive round, hammer shot, sticky grenade. You'll see me use in a couple fights. I don't use that quite as often. Now, I think there are 3 guys right here. If not, I will get the 3 guys over here. There are not, so I'll get the 3 guys over here, and that will finish up my quest. Keep in mind, you don't always need to use recharge cells, but if this goes down to about 30, less than 30, you know, around there, that's around where you're going to want it. Now, normally we would have hit level 6 there if we had gotten the quest done over in the other area. So we are a bit behind on XP right now, which is not good. However, there are a couple places where I just need to kill a couple more minions, and we should be fine. Private Farn's telling us about his corrupt boss. We're just going to be like, yeah, whatever. And eventually we're going to pay, or get paid off by him, because, you know, it's quicker than having to fight him. I think we'd fight him. It's quicker than arguing with him, at least. And plus we're just seeing the space 1 mash, and it ends up being that. Now we're going to go speak to Wraith at Manat Point. But before doing that, we're going to go a little bit out of our way to pick up an extra quest. This quest is very important if we want to get enough XP. So, we'll talk to Lieutenant Zoram. I don't want to be in your group. I have no idea who you are. I don't want to join your group. Is that you? No, it's not you. Who is it? This guy? No, yeah, it's this guy. I don't want want to join your group. Now we're just going to run back over here. Now that we're at level 6, this would be the ideal time to pick up Sticky Grenade and High Impact Bolt. Now I messed that up and picked up Sticky Grenade a bit early, but it is fine. It just saves you like 10 seconds or so. Now we're going to go down there. Now we have just a few seconds, obviously, or maybe even a minute, just on this little spear ride. And there's going to be a quest that we pick up down here that will pretty much, we also need to pick up basically, and we need to do it. Basically every quest we pick up we're actually doing, because otherwise we're wasting time mashing through a pointless quest. Okay, and it's this chick right here looking for her lost partner. Who doesn't actually care about her partner and is more concerned about the hollow discs. Now I've done a little bit of testing, and the volcano bit that we would normally do at the end of this plant is a complete waste of flippin' time. We literally would lose like 5 minutes, probably roughly, to just getting over there and getting into the volcano. And plus the volcano is a little harder than all this stuff, so you'd have to be watchful of your health and all that. It's overall just a waste of time and effort. So that's part of the reason why we picked up those quests, so we don't have to go into the volcano. Alright, so now we're just going to go over here. Now, as you can see, we have 2 bonus quests going on right now. I'm going to kill these guys actually. Normally I wouldn't, but since I missed that 1 bonus quest, I'm a little more concerned about XP than I normally am. Because I am competing, because it's evening where on a Sunday where a lot of people are trying to play, as you can tell by all these people playing right now. Alright, now we're going to talk to Jane Kett, the doctor here. Space 1. Now normally I'm smashing a lot faster than that, keep in mind. It's just that I'm going a little slow and don't want to tire my hand off. And I'm going to kill one of these guys just to be safe on XP as well. Okay, dead. I'm not going to kill this guy though. You can skip past him by walking off to the side. It's a little tricky at times because he sometimes likes to, you know, get into the fight against you. Now, I have not found out if it is faster to first do this or if it is faster to talk to Wax and come back here. I personally just do this first. However, it's a lot of running around in here, so it might actually be faster to go to Wax and then come back here. Now, well, either way you do it, you'd only lose maybe 30 seconds at most to finding that out. Frankly, I'm too don't want to find out anymore. So as you can see, I killed these guys, then killed these guys because we're gonna have to go through there eventually. So it's just worthwhile to kill them while you're there. And now we're gonna kill these guys. I'll throw a sticky grenade. And now we're in there. As you can see, I'm now popping recharge cells, excuse me, because I was low on cells. It's got like a 2-minute cooldown, yep. So only use it if you absolutely need it. If you misclick it, it shouldn't be the end of the run. It's just unfortunate. As I said before, we're coming over here now. That's why we clear out the enemies ahead of time. Doesn't matter where we walk, it's going to teleport us at the end of the conversation to where the game wants us.
You have good.
He's dead, but somehow standing. That always intrigued me. If you're mashing if you're mashing, he'll just do that. All right. I'm gonna throw the sticky grenade on the strong guy, because then he will knock that guy over. He's resisting all this bull crap. That's cool. Come on, target him. Now we're gonna stand by Sappho for the majority of the fight, ideally, because we want to pick up the data. Now this is where I'm wondering if talking to Wax first would save us some time and we can just teleport out from here. And by the way, this is the zone that I would recommend if you are... No, it isn't actually. Never mind. Ignore that. I would recommend walking out of here if you are... if you're free to play Trooper, there's 2 spots that you're probably going to want to quick travel out of, but you have to choose between them. One is in this zone after we beat it to quick travel out of here. The other is potentially going to be near the end of the run, which I will point out once we get there. Now we're just running up here. Thankfully, this droid is walking away right now, so we can, maybe we can't sneak past him because he's too close to the door. Dang it. I was hoping just to sneak right past him. Now we're going to talk to Wax. Wax is saying, hey, I'm working with the Separatists now. Separatists are a noble cause. Now, we're going to quick travel. Instead of up to Fort Garnick, we're actually going to quick travel to Falk's Reach. The reason being that that's where Lamala is, who we want to talk to about Wax. And then there's no point in flying down and then back up, you know? So we'll talk to Lamala, tell him, hey, he's working with the Separatists now. We're level 8 now, so that we're actually a little ahead of pace, I think. Now we're just gonna travel over to Fort Garnick. And once we get to Fort Garnick, we will talk about so there's actually 2 ways we can do this, and I haven't seen much difference in time. So you can either turn in Victims of War first and then turn in Man at Point, or you can do it vice versa. It doesn't really matter. Now, as I talked about, I'm just picking this up because to showcase the ability. You don't have to if you're not interested in Mortar Volley. Same with the artillery blitz for the Vanguard. It basically does the same thing, but you can move while doing it. As you can see, it's a targetable thing that I put on the ground. I'm going to do Man at Point first because that's just the way I was headed. I was actually thinking of doing the other one first, but instincts took over. Turn that in. Now we're going to go over here. And if you're a subscriber, you get those money crates. If you're not, sucks to be you. Even prefer don't get the money crates. So less money. But it doesn't really matter because you just normally delete the character after the run anyway. And we just spam space. Space 1. Alright. Money... and better belt. I already equipped that. So now we're running over here. What we're going to do is a little... You might be like, well, why are you going to this one place instead of the other place? There is a reason I do it. Okay? We're flying to the volcano camp instead of Oradam Village, and you're asking, well, isn't that out of the way? It's a little out of the way, but assuming you get really lucky on drops, or damn village would be quicker. Because you just go there, kill one mob, come back. However, most people aren't that lucky on drops. I haven't been that lucky in like a couple months. So instead we are going to go this way. And I am leveling way faster, probably because I killed a few extra mobs. Which is good actually, because it means that I will be on pace for what I want to show you. Normally I hit like level 8 or something at this point, not level 9, so. Well, no, sometimes I hit level 9, sometimes I'm really close to level 9 at this point. So I guess I'm on pace. I got an antivirus thing pop up, sorry. Okay, so sometimes we kill these guys, sometimes we kill these guys, and there are guys farther away that we're also going to kill, just to make sure we get all the loot. Since this is a pickup the loot quest. Now, for some reason, it doesn't always work. I actually got it in one try. That's amazing. So, actually, instead of killing these guys, I'm going to try to sneak right through here, which I did successfully. That is great. That is ideal. Normally, I would have looted either the guys on the rock there or the guys over there. Now we're running over here. We're gonna talk to this guy who's the father of a daughter whose daughter has been kidnapped by soldiers and are abusing her for information. Unfortunately, though, we don't get to save the daughter because then that adds to the dialogue length. So we're just spamming space 1 and it's actually shorter this way, so it works out. But it gives us dark side points, which doesn't matter in the speedrun because we aren't even paying attention to if we're light or dark. As you can see, I'm just spamming space 1. Now we use the holocom.
Come here, Sergeant. George.
Go over here, kill these guys. Now the reason I'm not pointing out here, first off, it's on a couple second cooldown, still from when I last used it. But if I were to quick travel now, I would basically rip the run, because otherwise here, let me explain it to you through the map. When we get to Fort Garnick, we're going here, down, down, and from here is where we're gonna quick travel back up here and finish the run. If I do it the other way, I have to walk down, up, and speed her out. This is the other spot that I would consider fast traveling at. I think, however, I haven't actually tested this, so free-to-play players don't get on my case about this, but I think it would be worthwhile for you all to quick travel at the other spot I mentioned. I think Fort Garnick is small enough that you can deal with a walk back and forth. Once again, we are not picking up the level 9 ability because it is just useless at this point. So, like I said, we're going over here first to turn in, and actually Farn's commander is going to be here, Lieutenant Verk. We're just going to say, yeah, sure, whatever. Let him go on with his business. And then Lieutenant Jargon. Now we're just doing this. Skip. Now, if you're ever about 2000 XP off, this is the quest for you. Now, I think I have enough. It's because this gives like 8,000. No, I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the item modification, which is kind of a hard thing to click on. But then we just do that. That will give us the little edge we might need if we are behind on XP. Even after doing the bonus quest. Since I missed that one bonus quest, that kind of makes sense of why I'm a bit behind. Actually, did I miss two? No, I just missed one. Early on. The Bellis quest. So, now we're going to talk to this guy. We're going to hear a loud slap noise. There's the loud slap noise. Dark side points. Yippee. Now, if you're free to play, you're just going to walk back speeder to Ordam. If you're preferred or subscriber, you are going to quick travel over to Ordam, speak to Odar, and your run should be over. So we're just going over here. Speak to Odar.
My daughter.
And there's the level 10. We just barely hit. But that's all you need. And there's no point in equipping this stuff, but I'm going to equip it just for the heck of it. Because, why not? Yep. As you can see. Oops. That is how you do the trooper route. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, guys, see ya.